Today on this video, we are going to talk about a complete Kujou Sara guide. Her best abilities, how her elemental skill works, her elemental burst, her best team comms, best artifacts, her best constellation, her artifact main stat, her weapons. So let's get right into it. So her elemental skill. Basically, so when you use a Kujou Sara elemental skill, when you use it, she will leave a mark on the ground, a crow feather mark on the ground, and when it explodes, whichever character is in it, they will gain attack bonus buff. And not only just that, they will also deal electro damage. So for example, if I use Kujou Sara elemental skill, as you can see here, let me do this again. So I use elemental skill and it explodes. So for example, I say I have Raiden on this here, and she will gain attack bonus buff while she's on it. So let's say Kujou Sara, I use this, I swap Raiden, and I swap to Raiden any other electro character, and they will gain attack bonus buff, like their attack main stat will increase for 6 seconds. All right, so that's how our elemental skill works. So the main purpose of our elemental skill is that it's very important that you need to have a lot of attack. Like your weapon needs to be a very high base attack. For example, like her weapons, if you go through her weapons, her weapon base attack should be pretty higher, because the more higher base attack she has on Kujou Sara, the better she will utilize from her elemental skill. It says it's an attack bonus based on Kujou Sara base attack. So where we get base attack from? We get base attack from by leveling up the character to max level 90, and we also get our base attack from our weapon. So for example, sacrificial bow has a very high base attack. I think it's around like close to 600. This has 674 base attack. So whichever weapon has a high base attack, then you can use it on Kujou Sara to get the maximum advantage out of her from her elemental skill. All right, keep that in mind. So it's very important that you use a very high base attack on Kujou Sara, so that you can get the maximum out of the from the skill. And this has a cooldown of the attack bonus duration cooldown has a duration is 6 seconds and has a cooldown of 10 seconds. All right, let's talk about her elemental skill. Her elemental burst. Her elemental burst is pretty straightforward. When Kujou Sara deals elemental burst, it will deal AoE electro damage. So it will deal this storm cluster, and it will do 2 type of damage, like tengu titan breaker damage, storm cluster damage. So as you can see in here, it has a cooldown of 20 seconds, and the energy cost is very high, 80. I think Raiden Shogun has an energy of 90 and she has like 80. So it's very important that you need a lot of energy recharge on Kujou Sara as well. Alright, let's talk about Kujou Sara best weapons. Kujou Sara best weapons is probably gonna be her, depending on which bow has a higher base attack. The bow which has higher base attack is either Skyward Harp or Sacrificial Bow. I think Skyward Harp and Sacrificial Bow. Skyward Harp has a very high base attack. You can use Skyward Harp on her if you have it. If you don't have Skyward Harp, then I would recommend using Sacrificial Bow, because Sacrificial Bow will give you a lot of high energy recharge, and it will really help you get your ult back up over and over again. All right, so that's the weapon for artifacts. A best artifact is probably gonna be I would say Noblesse, 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. I think 4-piece Noblesse Oblige is Kujou Sara's best artifact itself, because this not only gives you an elemental burst damage of 20%, but it will also give you attack buff on all the party members. All right, so you can use this on Kujou Sara. All right, so I would recommend 4-piece Noblesse Oblige on Kujou Sara. You can use this. She gives you attack buff from her elemental skill, but imagine if she gives another extra 20% she's giving from 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. So I would recommend this artifact set. You can also use this as well. The second best is probably going to be her envelope set, because you get it from 2-piece, you get energy recharge. From the 4-piece, her elemental burst damage increases depending on her energy recharge. So you can also give this, but I recommend Noblesse Oblige. I don't have the proper Noblesse set, so I'm using 4-piece, but I will start farming for this again. I mean, obviously from her. Yeah, so that's the the main stat that you want to focus on Kujou Sara is on the sand. You need energy recharge, because Kujou Sara energy cost is 80, so you have to use an energy recharge sand, because the her energy cost is very high, so you have to use energy recharge sand, and use an electro damage bonus in here. On the goblet, electro damage bonus. On the circlet, always recommend using crit fit, so that you can get the maximum amount of damage. And on the main stat, focus on getting energy recharge and attack percentage. I think these are the two priorities that you need to focus. Get as much as energy recharge and attack percentage from on the sub stats of your array. Let's talk about Kujou Sara Constellation. Kujou Sara Constellation C1 actually decreases the cooldown of Tengu Storm Cell, which is her elemental elemental skill. It's not really that huge of an upgrade, but yeah, her C2 is quite very good. Her C2 Kujou Sara, basically in here you don't have to charge shot. So basically in C0 Kujou Sara, you have to charge shot, you have to use elemental skill, and then you have to charge shot an enemy to get the attack bonus buff, so that you can give attack bonus buff to your DPS characters like Raiden or any other electro characters. But if you get C2, you don't need to use charge shot. You just use elemental skill, and the characters will automatically get attack bonus buff. But the disadvantage is that if you don't use charge attack after using elemental skill, you will lose out on 4 energy particle. So the 4 energy particle that you get by hitting an enemy after using elemental skill and you use charge shot, you are losing out on 4 energy particles. So I mean, but yeah, the C2 is good, but just keep in mind that you are losing out 4 energy particles. But if you can maintain it, then it would be great. But it's I would say it's a very niche C2 is very niche, but it's also good and also bad at the same time. But I would say it's a good constellation. Our C3 and C5 actually increases the talent level. Our C4 increases her elemental burst to 6. So basically her elemental burst, so basically it increases the damage of her this too by 6%. So 6%, so basically it will increase by like the damages by 6%, so you multiply by 6. All right, and her C6 is pretty actually big of a constellation, I would say, out of all. C2 is good. I think C6 is by far stands out the most, because her C6, whenever you use an electro character with Kujou Sara on the team, she will give 60% crit damage to that electro character. So you use like Raiden Shogun, Beidou, or any other electro character, they will gain 60% crit damage. that's actually huge. So C6 is pretty insane. I would highly recommend if you can get one. Kujou Sara best team comp is going to be the one and only Raiden hyper carry team. You can also use Beidou in here if you have Beidou. You can also in Beidou in here. You can use any other electro characters. So yeah, like you can also use Touching in here as well. So her best team comp is probably gonna be her Raiden team, her Raiden hyper carry, which you have Raiden, Onet, Bennett, and Shangling. So overall, I think Kujou Sara is probably one of the best support characters in the game. One of the top 5 support characters, especially for electro characters. If you have electro characters, you will get a lot of advantage out of her. But do keep in mind that you need to have a C6 Sara in order to get the most out of her. So keep that in mind. So overall, I think Kujou Sara is coming with the Raiden Shogun banner. So try to get to her C6, because if you do, then she will be the best support in your team, especially for electro characters. So I highly recommend pulling on that banner and getting as much as Constellation of Sara as possible. Alright guys, if you do enjoy my video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.